Hello friends, I hope you had an amazing Friday. I know I did. I think the most amazing part about the day is I'm getting responses from the messages that I'm putting out. I really appreciate, and my heart is full of gratitude to the people that are just kind of sharing with me that my messages are really meaning something. I love to post the pictures. I totally understand and appreciate people appreciating beauty, and thank you so much for the wonderful comments about my beauty. And I hope what's really shining through more than just the physical is the inner beauty, because that's what I'm most confident about sharing with people. But I was starting to get discouraged because when I put up my messages, there's not as many posts. So thank you so much for honoring my words, and especially to the people that inbox me that are curious about how I get my yes and no answers. I want to touch on that really quickly. The way that I get my yes and no answers is by using a technique that some people refer to as muscle testing or kinesiology. Perhaps you've seen where there's been someone that demonstrated that the body is showing what doesn't resonate with it by a person holding up their arm straight in front of them or to the side, and they tell the person to say their name and show that when they say their name, because that's true and it resonates with the body, they can't push their arm down. But if a man named James is made to say that his name is Sally, and then you try to push down on his arm, no matter how hard this big strong guy holds up his arm, it gets pushed down because the body is connected to truth, to well-being, to all of that. So I stated that I use this yes and no technique connecting to source, God, the universe, to help me with everything from what do I eat, the streets that I take, the appointments I make, everything, seriously. And I'll get more into detail about it, but I can't necessarily, when I'm trying to figure out what to make or buy from the grocery store and stick my arm out and ask a stranger to push it down for me. So I found a better technique. It's kind of like the pocket technique or version of what I just described to you. What I do is, instead of sticking out my arm, I utilize the strength in my index finger. And I put my finger that's next to my index finger on top of it, and I put pressure on it. So when I'm asking myself I'm asking myself a question that I want a true answer for, that helps me establish what yes feels like. It's really strong. You can't push your finger down, and then I duplicate that same strength that I have in my index finger and ask a question that, I guess it's a question that you ask for the right answer and you give the wrong answer. That would be your no. And so you're holding it up the same way, and I really am, but when I push down, I can't, and I'm thinking it instead of saying it, and we'll get into all of that if you decide you want to keep following me. But I'm just going to give it to you briefly, because my experience is that people don't like you going on and on forever about stuff, so I think you kind of get it, and if you kind of get it and you want to really get it, inbox me again, and I'll tell you about a seminar that I want to put together, and it's going to incorporate some of my close friends and my family who have been using these methods in their lives, and they've gotten amazing results. At the beginning, they thought I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and they thought this is really weird, but the more I did it and they saw the effects in my life, they tried it and they experienced the same thing. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for making this Facebook platform experience for me excuse me, to feel purposeful. And I really, if you go to my PMB #1, which I posted yesterday, it kind of just tells you who I am, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm really just sharing. I'm not trying to change anybody or force my concepts on anyone. I'm just sharing what I do. If you're interested, wonderful. If you're not and you just want to look at the pictures, knock yourself out. But I have a lot more deep, meaningful connection that I'd like to make with you. It's up to you. So have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.